I never have to use it, but something tells me I will. Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Now get out!
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Lee. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
That's in
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought like moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious.
Well, that's it for now, I think.
No. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who'll find. We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
The end is nigh. It will begin again. What is down comes up. The seed is sowed.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
If I may ask...
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart, the best of his kind. It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouth.
I take it you're...
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port, Grimhaven Bay.
So they're just... refuge...
Hardly. They've taken, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a...
I've heard you're the man to speak to about...
another newcomer with another problem.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My...
Mr. Throgmorton,
What makes you...
Let's just say I tend to...
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry.
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect. Outside Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I need to know more about...
Dane. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Clearly.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
As much as I'm...
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick.
I've said everything I know.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it? Something with this helmet gives me chills. Something.
You like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania? Where's your Oberon, huh, Titania?
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Bye.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed. The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. Choo-choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebhal, Nugulina, Haftin.
So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like. Five cards short of a full house. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Hello? It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't... Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... Okay. My head began to burst, and he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned.
That sounds familiar. Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, we moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so...
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. K is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. K be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton, and I have no idea where Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone.
I'll leave you to it. Take care of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of... What's happening?
Take this. Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
Yeah, run! Yeah, run! Take this, ape face.
What's happening?
Take this. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not? I gave you clear instructions, did I
Don't
not?
do anything stupid, newcomer.
I've said everything I know.
Keep your hands where I can see them.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Ed! I still hear those voices.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. There's something in the pocket. The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. one fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
What's your problem?
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something,
What? I don't have all day.
some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our bloods. Tell me you know who did it.
I don't know exactly. I have some suspects, but I need to investigate further.
What kind of private eye are you?
A thorough one. When I find him, I'll tell you.
Fine. I gave you clear. Instructions, did I not?
I've said
Don't do
everything I
anything
know.
stupid, newcomer. And keep your hands where I can see them.
Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Come.
You're some kind of, fortune teller?
Yes, my dear. Yes. Oh, it's so clear. Your path holds many surprises.
Really? Like what?
Not so fast, newcomer. I see many things. For a small fee, I'll tell you.
All right, how much? $1?
Your money has no value here, newcomer. After the flood, Oakmonters deal in the practical. Booze, smokes, and bullets. And I'll make it easier for you. I don't smoke.
Let's hear what my future holds.
Good. Let me focus. The sea will be generous in the coming days. Many gifts delivered, and many will...
I don't think I follow.
And tall pillars, circled by the dead. A race from one to the... It is what it is.
What?
Embrace your fate.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea.
And?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And remember, better to be...
I'm looking for a man, but...
Yeah, even if I knew,
I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you...
To rock. That would explain the blood.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key.
Smart man. Bye.
You want a drink?
What the? Get the... Oh.
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think...
Ugh. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. And me, covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper?
No, I'm sorry.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to... The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high cap, always conspiring behind our backs. Always setting...
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh?
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand... There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld. The Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right. Those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest.
This is not exactly cut and dry.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
It turns out I arrived here unprepared for business. You give me a little something to get started, and my...
I knew you'd understand. Here you are, Mr. Reed. Please. I told you the truth. I swear. Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
You want a drink?
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Stay alert.
How Mr. Carpenter's
Monsters
food
lurk
give away with his
underground.
darn port closure?
Everywhere.
Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar, Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family, and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it, but I digress. Remind me, what...
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria spread through Oakmont after the flood. I funded an expedition to explore recent...
A geological expedition?
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so below.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a natural disaster?
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened defied scientific explanation.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it.
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares.
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture. A sleeping...
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition, desperately wanting to find the cause.
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert, the only one I could trust, comes ashore.
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed.
If I'm going to look into this, I'll need to know more. Where should I start?
I'll give you...
That's all you can tell.
Let me be clear, Reed.
I'm sorry, Mr.
I am a busy man. I funded it. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in...
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation for your work. I'll also include a fair...
bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering. Bullets mean more than bills.